Welcome to another new video in the first few minutes video series. This is where I take a look at new customer journeys throughout SaaS apps, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Hopscotch. So Hopscotch promises to convert more trials with interactive tours, educate users about your product and guide them to become successful customers. So we can see a demo or we can go ahead and sign up. Okay. So the site looks quite nice actually, a bit different to the stuff we're seeing around. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to do the demo because I don't want to have any clues. Let's go ahead and sign up. Okay, so nice that the branding is being continued over. Again, something early stage startups you don't see a lot of. I would really love it if there was the ability to sign up with Google or existing platforms. Nobody likes doing this. Nobody likes sign-up forms. Again, are all these fields necessary for me to get in? New users just want to get in as soon as possible, and they want to see how quickly they can discount you from their search. So things like company and how did you hear about Hopscotch? Even the first name. You know, these are things that you can ask for afterwards. And also, is company something that's relevant for me signing up? If it is, get it off me later. Just let me get in as soon as possible. So, look, I'm always going to use Google anyway. So if you can give me the option to just sign straight in with Google, sign up with Google, it's going to be really appreciated. Twitter. I know we all want to know how people are finding our products as well. But again, on the initial sign-up form, I wouldn't include that. Bring it in later, send them an email, something. But reduce the barriers. Okay, so drop straight in. Got a nice little video there I can see going on in front of me. Tours, settings, help, new tours. Obviously, very simple. Welcome to Hopscotch. You're on your way to delighting users with a great onboarding experience. Okay. There's a couple of things here. One with the autoplay. It's great because you have subtitles, so I don't need to have the audio on, or I'm not suddenly going to be scared by it blasting out. The only thing about that is that if I do actually want to go back and watch it with sound, I have to take it back to the beginning.
Hopscotch. Just wanted to welcome you into Hopscotch and say thanks for checking us out. You can get started building your first product and email us hey@hopscotch.com.
Okay, so I think especially important for any new SaaS, especially when you're small, if you're not funded, even for those companies as well. But setting a tone and trying to set a connection with your new customers, I think is so important. They started doing that on the website because they actually already look different. So many landing pages that you see, a lot of them are just using the same free illustrations that everyone is using, but these guys have actually gone for something a bit different. And as you can see in the background, they've continued that over. Already we've got a welcome and an intro from the founder, which is nice. So I know I'm dealing with someone. This isn't a big tech company, or even if it is, I'm still dealing with somebody personal. And so there's already a bit more of an emotional connection. It's also good that it's letting me know this is one of one. After this is done. One thing that might be helpful here, just below, is maybe to have a little link here or something, or maybe a secondary button saying, view or watch a full demo of this. Because let's click on OK and see what happens. Okay. Let's get up and running. Let's get you up and running. You're going to be an onboarding superstar in no time. Before you create your first tour, paste the code snippet below into your app just before the closing body tag. Okay, copy snippet. That's it. It's time to create your first tour. So that's nice because that is really nice and clear. You need to do this before you can do anything else. So that's great. Going back to that previous video, it might have been another opportunity to say underneath, hey, do you want to watch a full demo, a quick demo on how to get the product going? Because this is crystal clear, but then actually in that video we can go through and how you set up the tour and create the tour. Maybe when I get to tour, there'll be help there as well. Let's check it out. So I'm going to copy the script. and I'm going to go over to my website builder and I'm going to paste it in, okay? Okay, so I've pasted the code into my website. So it says, that's it, now it's time to create your first tour. One little thing that might be nice here is that there's some kind of confirmation that like we can see that the code is on your site. You know, maybe it'll be something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe something along the lines of copy script, and once that's done, maybe a second. Maybe I'm not sure exactly, but maybe some kind of secondary button. You could say, hey, a bit more information here. Let us know when you pasted this into your website, and we can check it for you and give them some kind of confirmation, like thumbs up. Because it's always when you're in that grey place, like you don't know if it's been done properly or not. It's nice to get some kind of confirmation. Okay, so let's go with create your first tour, because I still don't know that it's working correctly and everything, you know. So it'd definitely be nice to get some feedback on that. You've seen that in a lot of the software, like, hey, yeah, it's connected and blah blah blah. Okay, so steps, untitled tour, FFM tour. Okay, steps. So we've got steps, targeting, and that's it for the moment. Okay, so add a step, edit. Okay. It's nice that it's telling me, it's teaching me how to use it. So hover over me to get started, you hover over and then the edit capability comes into play. So by the time you've edited the first one, you're already on the way to knowing how it works. Okay, okay, so how do I save this? Is it just click out? Okay. What about if I hit enter? That's just going to go to the next line. Okay. Maybe on that initial placement placeholder text, you could actually just explain that. Say or when you're inside editing, say click outside to save. Because there's no clear way. There's not like a save button or anything, or I have to experiment by clicking outside. Okay, so I see you've got your obligatory branding there. Preview only enabled in tour. Okay. Delete step. Filter who should see this step. Advanced settings. Point step to an element in your app. I'm guessing you need to add some. Let's have a look. Before we can point your step to an element in your app, add a preview URL for the tour. It'd be nice if this was a bit clearer, because I mean, obviously the only thing I can think that you want is the URL of my actual website to get the preview. If this is going to be different in any way. Okay, so I can see here that it says where will this appear the first few minutes. See, that's much clearer, makes much more sense. Hey, this is going to appear on this website. So to give you the preview, I would say that, hey, before we can point your step to an element in your app, add a preview, add the URL where your, so be more clear. Add the URL where your walkthrough, your onboarding will be viewed. Okay, so let's point to an element. Then switch to pointer mode and click the element you wish to point your step towards. We will save it. Okay. There's something. Yeah, I think there's some kind of bug or something here. You probably can't see it on the video, but there's a very, very, very faint text here that says click anywhere, then navigate to the page where you would like to point your step. Then switch to pointer mode and click the element you wish to point your step towards. We will save it and take you back to the editor. Okay, that needs to be fixed because I actually couldn't see that at all. So click and then click on the button. So that didn't work. It took me to, it's down the bottom, you see? This is already a cursor, right? So this is the pointer. Everybody's going to interpret this differently. What's a pointer? I can see here down the bottom now, after discovering my mistake, that switch to pointer mode. Navigate to the desired page where you will point your step. Switch to pointer mode. Is there any way that you can put this at the top of the page instead of the bottom? Because the top of the page, I'm already looking up. I'm not looking down at the bottom of my page, and I missed that completely. So switch to pointer mode. Okay. Click on that button, and again we've got the same bug here. Why is it taking me there? This is taking me to my website builder. Did something... It took me to the website builder and not back to Hopscotch. Okay. But diving back in, it has taken that element and it has saved it. So step 1, advanced settings, point to an element in your app using a CSS selector. Okay, that automatically did come through. Step URL. How should we advance to the next step? I don't know what the step URL is. I'm building my tour in your SaaS. So what is the step URL? All I want to know about is when this button is clicked, they can then choose to advance by clicking on the next button, or user click selected element, or user fill blah blah blah, and it will take them to the next one. But I don't understand what the step URL is. All I understand is that when they click on this, I want them to go to the next stage in the tour. So this needs to be explained. What is it? Why do I need it? What happens if I click without it? Let me click on save. Okay, so if I go back to my website here now, I'm going to do a refresh. Yeah, okay, so that didn't work. It's because there's a button, isn't it? Obviously the primary function of this button on my website is to take them to this link. So maybe it needs to be clearer that it's clicking on an element, so, and not on a button. Obviously if it's on a button, that button is going to perform its function. That was, you could say it was my stupidity, but that's the action I chose to give it. That's the element I chose to test this out on. Maybe I'm not thinking real world use case, but I'm thinking of testing it out. But having said that, I want to tell somebody that when they click this button, that this is going to happen, that this function is going to take place. So how do I do that? Because any element on my web page is going to be interactive. If it's not, it wouldn't be an element. Okay, you see, more confusion. So the steps screen takes up most, the steps area takes up most of the screen. Targeting is down below. So I wanted to save to preview. In fact, I added in that other section that confused me about adding a preview URL. Maybe here it could be more explicit, either a save and preview or a save button and then a preview button. Because it's not until I get all the way down the bottom here, enabled, upgrade to a paid plan to enable your tour. You can still save and preview your tour until you're ready to upgrade. Okay, so how do I preview? What I'm interested in is seeing actually how it looks on my website. Yeah. So I don't know how to preview that. I remember something about adding the preview URL. But no idea how I get there again now. So for me now, this is a dead end because I want to see how it works. I can't unless I pay, and I'm not going to pay just to see how it works. So if that was me, this would be a dead end and I would be gone. As I said, I remember something came up about a preview URL. I don't know how to get there, to get back again. And yeah, so that's kind of the end of the road for me. That would almost certainly be the beginning, the first few minutes of any new customer journey, and it was going fantastically well up until there. Settings, debugging, Hopscotch widget last loaded time. I'm not sure if that's supposed to mean anything to me. Maybe that means something to you if I have to reach out to support and you might ask when was the last time the widget but that on itself doesn't mean anything to me. As far as I know, I'm not using any widgets. I'm using your code on my website. So let's get the help. Okay, so you have some kind of Notion documentation, which is great. But yeah, so it was going really well until then, really well. Really nice, simple solution that was doing a really good job on that. If I could have that preview experience or know how to preview that, then that would take the experience from a sort of a, yeah, I could keep trying this, and this might actually be a solution to, yeah, this isn't viable, so I'm gonna have to look for something else. Anyway, I hope that helps, and I will be back again tomorrow with another video. Cheers.